Well, good morning and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Give the video a thumbs up, it helps the algorithm, and consider joining the channel membership. I'd like to thank all of those who have recently joined the channel membership. Really appreciate and thank you so much. Well, I started out this run at about 5 a.m. It was nice and cool, but the sun's coming up and it's starting to warm up already. I'm starting to sweat quite a bit. But it's a beautiful morning nonetheless. Love coming out here. And today on this full review video, I'm talking about Craft's latest, or one of their latest, trail shoes, and arguably their best trail shoe to date. But does that mean it's actually good? I'm talking about the Craft Pure Trail Pro. Now, if design or aesthetics was a category, this would definitely hit top marks, but does it perform well? Well, we're going to be talking about the overall build quality, the comfort, the performance, and the value of the Craft Pure Trail Pro. I should mention that Craft did send me this shoe for the purpose of review, but know that all thoughts and opinions are strictly my own. I've put about 30 miles into the shoe, and I'm going to be fully transparent and honest, and you'll see that in this review today. Moving on with the review, voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the specs and features of the Craft Pure Trail Pro?
Craft states that the Pure Trail Pro is a top-performing trail running shoe equipped with a Vittoria-powered outsole, designed to excel in high-speed descents and challenging muddy terrain across the Alps. As for some of those specs and features, you get a ripstop polyester upper with TPU overlays, CR Foam Pro midsole, which is comprised of 85% nitrogen EVA and 15% PEBA, Craft's regular fit, which is snug in the heel and midfoot with additional room in the forefoot, Vittoria high traction outsole rubber inspired by the Syria tire, 5mm lug depth, 34mm of heel stack and 28mm of toe stack for that 6mm drop, weighing in at 325 grams or 11.5 ounces in a men's US 10, and a US MSRP of $189.99. Chad, back over to you on the trails.
All right, thanks voiceover Chad. Okay, starting off with build quality and comfort. Now, typically those two go kind of hand in hand. The build attributes to and is highly linked to the comfort of the shoe, but unfortunately, that is not the case with the Craft Pure Trail Pro. Now, Craft as a brand has always done a great job in their build, the quality of their build and their shoes and their other products. The Pure Trail Pro makes no exception to that. High quality build, excellent choice of materials, and each component by itself on paper is amazing. But when it all comes together, the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts. And while the quality might be top notch, the comfort is not. So starting with that upper, you get a pretty amazing and durable ripstop upper, which features additional TPU overlays for added durability and support. The tongue is also gusseted, fully gusseted, and the material that it's gusseted to lines the entire inside of the shoe, around the sides and the toe box, which generally adds to comfort, but it also takes away from breathability. In my opinion, I don't think that extra liner was really needed. I would rather have the extra breathability in the toe box. The tongue is not padded at all. It's actually very thin and flimsy, but you do get some good padding in the heel and around the ankle. In fact, I think the padding around the heel and ankle is perfect. There's a good comfortable hold in your ankle, but that's where the comfort features kind of stop in the upper. Let's start with the toe box and I'll show you. So the width of the toe box is just about perfect. So good width there. You can see you get some really good TPU overlays, help out add some protection and durability there. But while the width is good, the height of the toe box is not. It's definitely a little shallow, and I can feel it across the top of my toes. It hasn't become an issue as far as like rubbing or blisters is concerned, but it's definitely noticed, and I think they still need to refine the upper fit around the toes. In the midfoot here, it's secure enough, although I do find that my foot is still sliding a little bit back and forth in the shoe, and I have to tie the laces a little bit tighter than I would typically do to get a good secure lockdown hold. And that's actually a common problem that Craft has had in all of their Pure Trail shoes. I ran in the Pure Trail, the first version, I ran in version 2, and they made some refinements and improvements on the fit. And then the Pro, they continued to refine and try to make those additional improvements on the overall upper fit, but it's still not good enough. And because I have to pull the laces a little bit tighter, and because there's no padding in that tongue, I feel the laces across the top of my foot as well. And then there's just a little bit too much volume, just not giving me a good secure hold. It could be worse, but it definitely could be improved. And for a high performance shoe, I would expect much more. Moving down into the midsole, you get a nitrogen infused EVA and PEBA midsole. So it's about 15% PEBA, which again on paper is amazing, but in actual reality, the midsole is just a little too stiff. And again, same problem that I experienced in the Pure Trail 1, Pure Trail 2, and now the Pure Trail Pro. The midsole is better than in the Pure Trail 1 and 2. It is just a little bit more responsive, a little bit softer, but still not to my liking. It's not soft enough and doesn't have that bounce and energy return that I would expect, especially in a pro level shoe. On a positive note, that midsole in combination with this fabulous outsole rubber, talk about that in a moment, offers great underfoot protection. I do feel enough of the ground underfoot, and I think that the shoe, because it's got a stiffer midsole, would do great if you need more of a stability trail shoe, or if you're taking this shoe into some very technical rocky terrain. It's good to have a midsole that doesn't allow your ankle to roll too easily. But overall, from a comfort perspective, it's just not got that soft and that bounce that I really like, and that we've come to appreciate in most shoes, especially at this price point, which I'll talk about more in a minute. And then moving to that outsole rubber, that Vittoria grip with those 5mm lugs, that's outstanding. Actually, definitely the highlight of the shoe. Absolutely amazing. To recap that haul, build quality is really good. It came together really well. Craft did a great job there. Chose excellent materials individually, but when it all came together, the whole did not become greater than the sum of its parts. And as such, comfort definitely was lacking. Okay, I'm dropping down through the valley here, and then I'll be making my way up to the top of the ridge right over there. Let's get up to the top, talk a little bit about the performance of the Craft Pure Trail Pro. I always love this view. So pretty. All right, so I'm going to talk about the value of the shoe here in a moment and compare it to a couple other shoes that are similar in price and stack. But first, let me talk about performance for a bit. I mentioned that I would give my honest thoughts and experience, and that's what I'm doing here. I feel like the performance, especially as a pro level shoe, is really lacking. There are aspects of the shoe that I like, but it just doesn't come together in a way that really performs well. I haven't had a bad experience in the shoe. I do find that I enjoy running the trails while in this shoe, but I don't know, there's just something lacking in the way that it, inspires me to want to run more or run faster, or I don't know, just really enjoy the trails. I find myself thinking a lot about the shoe, almost to the point of distraction, because I'm trying to figure it out. The volume of the upper is lacking. My foot moves around just a little bit too much. there's not enough volume in the toe box when it comes to the height of the toe box. Midsole in small moments feels good, especially on the downhill, but otherwise is lacking when it comes to dynamic and kind of responsive but forgiving, you know, midsole that we've come to, you know, appreciate in some of those super critical foams. Future Trad here, I wanted to mention a little something about the weight of the shoe. Generally, a trail shoe that comes in over 300 grams is a little heavy. However, in this shoe, even though it's 320 something grams, it doesn't feel its weight on paper. It feels lighter than it's actually advertised to be, which is a big plus. Definitely helps when you're putting in those longer miles or your legs and feet are just a little more fatigued from all the running. So that is a positive attribute to the shoe. Okay, Chad, back over to you. I do appreciate the underfoot feel from being able to connect to the trail a little bit and also have adequate protection underfoot. But the one area that the shoe does excel in is grip. That outsole rubber, the Vittoria rubber, is outstanding. I would say exceeds barely Vibram Mega Grip. Yeah, that compound is super grippy. Should last a long time, should be pretty durable. And I've really liked it, especially on, you know, rocky sections kind of like this where you really rely on the grip, whether it's on a flat rock section like that or this like loose broken up rock. Grip is simply outstanding. Otherwise, it's just lacking, and I don't find that I gravitate to wanting to use this shoe, whether it's in training or for an ultra race. And that gets me into the value of the shoe. At $190 US MSRP, that is definitely a higher price point. It's a pro level price point, but at that price point, there's too many other really good shoes on the market. Specifically, two that I've reviewed somewhat recently and really enjoyed are the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro and the VJ Ultra 3. I would say build quality is comparable, comfort and the overall performance in the VJ Ultra 3 and the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro far exceeds the Craft Pure Trail Pro. So I wouldn't recommend the Pure Trail Pro. There's just other shoes that I would recommend. But now I would love to hear your thoughts. Is Craft as a brand one that you've considered before? Have you ran in some of their shoes? What have been your experience? Has it been a bit of a mixed bag like I've experienced? And what are your thoughts on the Craft Pure Trail Pro? Thanks for joining me on this run today. Thanks for being here on this review. I've got a lot more coming to the channel, including a new Max shoe from La Sportiva, an S-Lab shoe from Salomon, a trail running sandal from Teva, and also a super shoe from Skechers. Well, stay tuned for all of that and much more. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of these trail miles. It's been a wonderful morning, an awesome way to start the day. I'll see you on the next video. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile. See you on the next video. Bye now.